The early 1990s. A gas station in nowhere America where nothing happens. It's the witching hour when everything happens. A man, covered in blood, maybe his own, maybe someone else's, maybe both, runs into the gas station screaming at a cop, clerk, and customer that something is chasing him. Someone, actually. Someone you won't see until it's too late. Someone fast and strong and ready to kill. Someone, honestly, you don't want to see, because if you do, it's probably going to be the last thing you see. While the cop isn't convinced, and who could expect a cop to ever be convinced about something bad actually happening, the man is convinced, and to put a point to his convictions, he takes her gun and shoots himself in the head. They don't know it, but he was dead before he even came inside there. He died somewhere out in that night. Out there. And before they know anything else, the man is back. Alive somehow, even after blowing his head off. Now he's blowing their minds as he shoots the cop, slurping down her blood like a desert refugee at a water park. The customer cowers in horror, cringing as the gas station door opens. And who walks in now? The man in black. The man they were warned about. Late to the party, but early to their funerals. They never had a chance. The man in black hops into a car and rides off into the night. The customer from before emerges from his hiding spot, dazed and confused, and utterly convinced. Evil walks the earth. In its first few minutes, you're going to get a consistent idea of what 1993's Darkness, the vampire version, is all about. Well, it's about vampires, of course. That's why they have vampire version in the title, I suppose. That's very helpful. Thank you, movie. What is this, though? Really? This is amateur gore at its near finest. Imagine looking through a trading card series. Do you know Mars Attacks or Dinosaurs Attack? The explanation's in the title. It's random scenes of horrible, gory violence. This would be Vampires Attack. Vampires Attack at the theater. Vampires Attack at the car wash. You understand exactly what it is now. Vampires forget about daylight savings and get roasted for 10 minutes straight. Which is also the movie's cinematic conclusion and a decidedly awesome display of fleshy, degloved body horror. If only we knew who these people melting on screen were. Wait, I think that's Gary. Well, then that must be Larry. Do you know who that is? Does it matter? No, not really. Why is this film called the vampire version? Well, because it's the director's cut. And apparently the director's cut is the longer version of the movie that includes more vampy violence at the expense of cutting out all narration explaining who anyone in the film is, explaining what's going on, stuff like that. Do you want violence? Or do you want to know what's going on in the film? Like, why is this dead kid hanging out on a post over here? Choose your own adventure. I chose vampire version, and boy, is that what I got. The director, Leif Jonker, I'm not even going to pretend that I know how to say his name, and yeah, that is his name, made this movie over a few years in his late teens to his early 20s. He has very evident talent and skills here. Unfortunately, he never made another film. Admittedly, his talent is obscured and kind of hard to appreciate. It is rough, coming in gasps between cinematic belly flops common to amateur filmmakers. In probably the most painful 0 out of 10 die, the audience only really learns why the vampires are causing the havoc that they are at an hour and 8 minutes into the film. I was so amazed. I was like, oh, I finally understand. What time is it? Oh my god. And, you know, that's a time when most movies are wrapping things up. Not this one. Given that there are movies, though, with 1,000 times the budget that don't have plots too, this can all be forgiven. In the end, Darkness exists as an exhibition of specific but unrelated horror scenes that probably stood out in the director's mind as impactful. I tend to agree. The kid could have made a wicked car commercial. However, as good as these more atmospheric sequences are, they were not effectively connected to any characters or plot, so they often lose their effect. I'd love to know what that kid's doing on that post. I really want to know. Can someone tell me? Sorry, I brought it up again. Anyway, there are scenes here that are perfectly edited. The music is never really annoying and it fits the moods, and those moods are alleys and sun-abandoned streets in 1990s small-town America. A place I knew well. A place that is tinged here with the warping screams of someone in the distance. Darkness is a competent creature for a teen-made film. It's a manifestation of what scenes race through someone's mind as their legs pound up those basement stairs that we all ran up when we were desperate to turn on a light before whatever it was that was down there got up here. I give Darkness, the vampire cut, 2 kids just hanging out on a post out of 5. And that's my cat, by the way. The visions here could be found in a nightmare, to be sure. And those happen most often where else but in darkness.
All of these things are designed to frighten a monkey.